Question.
Yeah.
Is anyone attuned to, do we still have Flesh Harvester? And if we do, is anyone attuned to it?
I don't think so, no.
I don't think we gave it away though.
So we still have Flesh Harvester, Early Grave. Or we still have Flesh Harvester and Early Grave?
Yeah, you should.
All right. Well, if no one is attuned to those, because we have 5 attunement slots, don't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will just throw those on the Fago. So they see play.
Is there anything different about your new simulacrum?
Um. Uh. He seems he's got a little bit more of a he's got a bit more awareness.
Oh yeah.
A little bit more intuition. He's not just an algorithm. Like there's something there, a spark of something. Um, Spark of what anyone's guess. But in terms of mechanic wise, no, he's pretty much the same, except he's got significantly more spells available to him.
Oh yeah, he was almost out, huh?
Yeah, and I made him after adding all those scrolls to my
Oh yeah.
knowledge base.
Well, good evening, everyone. It is Thursday. My whole sense of time is so fucked. Last week, you guys had kind of a downtime session. You all sort of tended to some individual tasks. Mercy, upon going to retrieve your vessel, you were intercepted by another traveler of the stars from Eberron. Not necessarily a bounty hunter, more of a warlord left over by of the remnants of a relic of the last wars, much like yourself, who has hunted you across the astral sea and picked up your vessel near Neverwinter. And you guys had a brief interaction before they disappeared beneath the waters of the sea. But someone from your world is here on Eberron, or here on Faerun, hunting you. Mavathor, you had a meeting with Asmodeus. Was that last week?
Yes.
Or was that 2 weeks ago?
Wait, 2, right?
Yeah, 2, I believe.
What did we do last week?
Yeah. The last week was.
I should make you guys do the session recaps.
He was interested in seeing how this Forge Master could use Vlad's Impaler to improve his weapon, and she basically said that it would require someone like Dispater to make it, and he talked briefly with Asmodeus to basically command Dispater to abide, and then he had a brief conversation with Levistus.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Levistus enlisted a favor from him to deliver a token to the mayor of, I believe it's Brinshander.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm starting to remember now.
And he agreed on the condition that this isn't any type of a formal alliance, it's simply a favor.
And Lilith, you paid a visit to Barovia to seek a little guidance from Irina.
Mm-hmm.
She did her best to encourage you and search for the strength that you need from within, because you are now responsible for your realm and the people that reside within. And Lep, you did a little hop skip into the Feywild. I don't remember why you were actually going there, but Phylaxis showed up, and you guys spent an afternoon in the tall grasses of the summer courts when you were interrupted rudely by Cass, who implored a favor of you. He made you do a blood bonding handshake. I probably should have done this last week, but I didn't really think about it in the moment. So why don't you give me like an insight check for that interaction?
Okay.
I'm sorry that I'm forcing you guys to watch me eat.
It's all good.
Fine. It's fine.
That's a 17.
Oh shit, I don't know if I should still have Cass in my just normal compendium. Let me see if I can get his token.
I mean, you can go ahead and remove him.
Yeah, I do. I can get access to him. 17, huh?
Yeah,
Let me make
it doesn't add
a...
anything to insight.
Ooh, Cass has a very big deception bonus.
Yeah.
As far as you know, whatever magical handshake Cass forced you to do, you believe at some point, if you break the binding of that agreement, something Cass like will happen to you. Who knows what that is, but
Yeah, I mean, hey, he also liked to cast, so it's fair.
and Jin, you got to know a bit of Agatha's mind a little bit, and what she thinks of being free and living in a new world that is much different from Eberron. And she encouraged you to team up with her once again to bring innovation and change to the world of Faerun. Now you guys know that it's quite possible that Vecna still is lingering on the material plane here. Asmodeus believes that Vecna is searching for something north of the spine of the world in the frigid lands of Icewind Dale. And you've heard some other rumors here and there that there are strange little hordes of the undead roving the winter plains. But I believe before you guys head to Icewind Dale, you were going to try to seek out one of Illustrial's sisters in Waterdeep.
Yes.
Did you guys have a plan for how you were going to try to track her down, Laeral Silverhand? It can probably just be resolved with a well, you're all together once again. You gather into Mercy's ship, which I believe is probably going to be your mode of transportation, or how do you guys want to travel to Waterdeep and then into the frigid north?
I think we had agreed on the ship, But I do believe we need to resolve the Fangs thing, like, in transit.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can start there as you guys make your way to Waterdeep.
Mercy's just in the hold with the cage, just waiting for everyone. Because Jin had said he wanted to have a big meeting, so she probably would have let them know she was there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Piddlewick.
I don't know how
Piddlewick takes the wheel.
Oh,
sets a course for Waterdeep. It is a overcast day in Faerun, and Piddlewick takes the ship above the clouds.
Don't put too much power in the engines. We don't want to be detected that easily.
Yeah, gives you a thumbs up, winks.
for now.
oh God. Help us all.
Yeah, I did call for a big meeting. I don't know how far you got in the RP, Ryan.
I have not had time for much of anything outside of work and family stuff. Yeah.
So as we approached, or a couple hours before we start heading in the direction of Icewind Dale, Jin sort of gathers everyone into whatever functions as a briefing room on Mercy's ship. And on the table he has a sort of series of folders and papers that dossiers on operating powers in the area, like major threats, significant dragons, that sort of thing. And it gives just sort of a very brief overview of what to look out for, what to expect, what the hazards of the region are. I think everyone has cold resistance at this point, either by Netheri's rune or by being Mavithor. I assume you have cold resistance, right, Mavithor?
Yeah, I took Infernal Constitution, which gives me cold resistance.
Yeah. And when he, I do not have the I don't have the voice for this. When he gets to the end of the briefing, he pauses before saying, "There is one other danger among many that you should be aware of while we're here." Right before we entered Barovia, I received a communication from a ruling collective within the Houses of Eberron. I won't go into details on what they said, but the general gist is the general gist is I believe them compromised, and it is we have encountered an agent on their behalf on the prime material plane already. So it is not impossible that we can expect interference from that front.
Yeah, speaking of that particular annoyance, Mercy's going to pull up an image on one of the screens for everyone of Mordekash.
Well, kind
This
of
is Mordekash.
looks up at it.
He is a particularly unpleasant bastard. A mercenary hand, some particularly nasty house elements during the Eberron Wars. He prefers hit and run tactics, and we've encountered him once on this plane.
He prefers to try mind games and be a mass murderer. He's, well, as you can see, he's a flaming tiger, and he's a Rakshasa, so that's always fun.
Really, he looks like a squirrel to me.
Would Mavisor
Well,
know
he
anything?
needs a bath pretty badly, so.
Would Mavisor know anything about this particular Rakshasa through reputation or stories or anything like that?
Being sort of a figure from Eberron, probably not. He's kind of, he's kind of kept his exploits on Eberron as far as you've known, so you've never really heard of this particular one.
Okay.
I will do my part. We know about our business on the surface. To be particularly vigilant to the kind of tactics you'd like to employ. This is Eberron's a mess that generally falls to its inhabitants to clean it up. But as it does pose a threat to your mission, Mercy and I have thought it prudent to bring it to your attention.
Yeah. Mavisor nonsense says, I know some Rakshasas in Avernus, and let's just say they're particularly resistant to a surprisingly large range of magic.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
Yes. They are. That is a the Rakshasa on Eberron are much the same. Although you'll find that a particularly solid blow via melee or energy weapon will bring them down, as it will bring most other things down.
Well, lucky for us, I have a glaive, so we're good.
Yeah, he's more of a pain in the ass than Zet, but he does like wanton destruction, so.
I'm gonna blow these guys.
Well, full disclosure, I don't know if you guys got my note, but I am officially a free agent, and people like this might pop up every so often, so. Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, we just killed them. It's not a big deal.
There is wisdom and prudence and simplicity. Sorry, I had a lot more planned for this meeting, but I spent the last week out of it, so sorry.
So good.
Was Lep gonna say something?
Yeah, I didn't know if Jin was done or not. Lep sort of speaks up.
Go ahead.
He speaks up and he's like, well, since we're all giving out information, I already told Jin, but I'll let you all know. When I was in the Feywild, Cass sort of came up to me and offered me a proposition about stealing the rods for him. I said no because that's fucking stupid. But I think he did steal one of my cards. because I only have 21 instead of my full 22. So I don't know what happened to him after that, but I just wanted to let you guys know that he's still interested in us.
Is the stolen card that throne one that he took to Barovia?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lilith, I believe, gave that to Mercy to ask Lepus about, and she was going to put it in a safe place afterwards so that it is kind of hidden.
Well, you can ask about it now if you'd like.
Yeah.
Lilith, roll insight.
You can roll an insight check. Some of the language that Leps used might be incitable.
Yeah, no, it would.
While you're doing this, Mercy's going to describe the card to Lepus and see if that sounds familiar.
I'm out with a 23.
He had a 23? Okay, then I'm going to reroll. Okay, 26.
Oh.
We love the lucky feats.
Well,
Good.
for the first time in a long time, not that Lep's never been truthful, but for the first time in a long time, at least he's, it seems to you all that he's being sort of forthcoming right away about some of his endeavors that he gets himself into, some of the chaos that seems to follow him wherever he goes.
Yeah, Mercy, that does sound like it. How do you have it?
Well, Lilith came back and told me an interesting story and said that he kind of showed up and presented it in his usual creepy manner.
And then he stole a memory marble, so we had that
Well,
to deal with. So.
That's not good. Do you have the card with you? Do you mind if I see it? Or have it back, I should say.
That's up to Mercy.
Which memory marble did he steal?
The one of Lilith's memories with fangs.
Which, interestingly enough, Fangs is alive again.
Well, yeah, they were alive.
Yes.
I brought them back.
No, as Fangs, like full memories and everything.
Oh, that's wonderful. Why is nobody smiling like me? You guys know something I don't?
That's not how magic is supposed to work.
Don't get yourself too excited yet. Lilith, when I was examining Fangs earlier, I noticed some odd magics lingering around her, and well, I've already apologized to her, but she's currently in the cell in the hold due to its anti-magic properties, because Cass had left necromantic and divination on her. So if you guys want to follow me down and we can see how she's doing and see if that's still active.
Oh. Yeah? You probably should.
Considering some of the implications of him having divination on a creature who is usually at Lilith's side 24/7.
Yeah, that has to go.
Yeah.
I was careful. Again, apologies to Fangs and Lilith. I deceived them both in order to get Fangs into the cell, just to try and make sure if Cass was watching, he didn't pick up that I was on to him just yet.
No, that's okay.
You did the right thing.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did that.
She seemed to understand when I talked to her, but she is still down there. So
Oh, lovely. Okay.
I wanted to be
Oh.
sure that she was clear of his influence before letting her out.
Do you think dispel magic will work?
That is the first place I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Dispel magic level 4 on the creature and everything it's affected by.
Dispel magic level 4.
On the plus side, the anti-magic of the cell is didn't kill her again.
Okay. You use a dispel magic level 4 on Fang's Jin.
Yep.
Do you want to detect magic after that?
Yeah. We'll detect magic after that.
The
Actually, what we should do is we should rate cast detect magic first.
Oh, okay.
Then then roll Arcana, or try and identify the effects that are on the dog,
That's what I was
and
looking
then
for.
cast dispel magic.
All right. You do it in that order. You cast detect magic, just like Mercy said. You detect auras of necromantic and divination magic permeating Fangs' fluff. You can, give me an Arcana check.
All right. I think get advantage from somewhere. Hold on.
I'll hit you with the guidance.
Guidance 2. Thank you for that. No. All right. Just guidance then.
What was it? What was the other thing you asked for?
Oh, well, I was checking to see if I had something that gave me advantage.
Oh, gotcha.
Fago helping?
Well, Lep
Extra pair of eyes?
could help you.
Yeah,
I could
Lepo.
give the help action since I detected it initially, maybe.
I would say that Lep or Lilith could help.
Lep can help.
Yeah, I can help too.
Okay, Lep, give me a hand here.
You
That's a
got
22.
this. Jin, your expertise in magic and its many uses, you determine that this is not so much an arcane magical effect, but it probably leans closer to the side of some sort of curse. The magic contained within this curse, you can tell, examining Fangs with Lep's help, you sort of determine that whatever curse that Cass has whispered into Fangs here, if the curse is removed, Fangs will return back to just a wolf again.
Yeah, I guess that should be expected.
If we do that, then I can just show her the memory marble again. Can make a new one.
Well, we can't be sure of that. I mean...
Yeah, so I will relay this. Not a spell, but a curse. Something I could remove after we rest. But that's probably not happening today.
I could remove it now.
That is Lilith's choice.
Actually, I would like to ask Fangs. I mean, she is a sentient being at this point.
I mean, true.
Lilith, give me an insight check.
So
Even-
oh wait, nope. I have disadvantage. 17.
Even though you still possess all of the memories that you placed inside the marble, you wouldn't be able to copy them again as long as Cass still holds a marble with them contained in it.
Can Jin tell what the divination is on her, or just that it's there?
Yeah, Jin, you figure that this curse is just so Cass can find you guys easily if he wants to.
Yeah, it's just your standard art marker or tracker. Keeping him in an anti-magic cell was probably a good idea.
Okay, well, Mercy is going to cast her spell, Commune with Beasts, and explain the situation to Fangs.
Fang says, yes, do it.
Alright. Balthor replaces his hand of Belma and Fangs and casts Remove Curse.
Is anyone in the cell with Fangs?
Yeah, Lilith probably went in there with her.
Hang on. Never mind, my spell didn't require touch.
As you're sort of communing with beasts, Mercy, when Mavathor removes the curse, the sort of higher intelligence Fangs possesses fades away, and all you can really sense within Fangs once the curse is removed is sort of an animalistic, predatory sense take over. And Fangs' fur kind of stands up along its spine, and it begins. Fangs begins to growl at you, Lilith.
Can I try to calm her
Animal
down while the
handling?
spell's active?
Yeah, yes, you can make an animal handling check.
Oh, that's an 8.
Oh, sorry, was that for me or her?
Oh, you're the one who said you wanted to try. I mean, it does say you might be able to persuade the beast to perform a small favor for you. So, I mean, that could include trying to calm it
Please
down.
don't kill me. Great. I'm gonna die.
Well, you rolled a 20.
No, because I had disadvantage, so it was an 8.
Oh, it's an 8? Okay.
Yeah, I still have exhaustion.
You feel that Fangs is about to pounce for your jugular, Lilith.
Okay, yeah, she's gonna try and step out of the cage.
Yeah, that's not a problem. You step out of the cage, and the weight of Fangs' big direwolf body pounds against the door just as the latch closes. And you can hear Fangs with this sort of low growl inside the anti-magic cell, pacing back and forth.
Lilith doesn't say anything, she just leaves the room.
We're
Lilith
back. We
left.
found you there.
Yeah.
Let's give her a little bit of time and I'll see if she wants to return Fangs to the wilds. Or try and keep her and maybe reestablish a connection. But speaking of Barovia, Lepis, can I borrow you for a moment?
Sure.
Yep, Mercy's going to lead him away from Jin and Mavathor. So that throne card that Cass took. Lilith said when he was in possession of it, it kind of let him take control of Barovia away from her.
Okay. I mean, that explains why he went to Barovia in the first place. Okay.
He did give it to her, and I currently have it in a safe location. I know you expressed wanting it returned.
Yes.
Given this knowledge, do you still want that? Because I don't know if it would still convey that ownership.
It won't. The cards. The best way I can explain it, Mercy, without truly fucking up your mind, the cards are chaos in a bottle. And when one is pulled, a bit of that chaos is expelled. Once it is out there, though, it is out there. So, since Cass returned it to, or gave it back to Lilith, the ownership would now be in her hands. Me taking the card back shouldn't affect the ownership. And I would like to have the full deck back. Even with one out of place, balance is very important, and these things don't go well when they're not all together.
I do understand. I will return it to you. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of this and to make sure it wouldn't continue kind of passing around the ownership of Barovia.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'm sorry. Me and Phalaxis were just having, well, we were spending some quality time together. I should have been more perceptionable about my surroundings.
Well, it's done and over with now, so we'll just have to keep or try to keep a better eye out for him. I'm not sure how much more we can even do at this point, but yes, I will return the card.
Thank you. Where did you hide it, by the way?
Oh no, Lepis, I can't give away secrets.
Not even to me?
Not all of them, little brother.
All right.
And that's it. She will return the card to him before they touch down, but that pretty much concludes what I had wanted.
Okay. In the ship, travel is pretty fast. It doesn't take you guys long to near Waterdeep, the city of Splendor.
I know things got upset for Lilith again, but what did she think of Piddlewick flying the ship before all this?
I mean, who can't like smile at that? Like, come on. I
He
think a
just
part of
looks
it
like a
scares her,
happy,
though.
chaotic little gremlin.
Yeah.
Well, you guys reach Waterdeep. You can kind of peer down at it if Piddlewick sort of lowers the ship just below the cloud cover. You guys can see this sort of just large, sprawling city beneath you, tucked sort of along a sort of small mountainside. There's like a large keep that sits on the cliff's edge that overlooks the rest of the city that goes from the waters, and the wall of the city sort of wreathes around the edge of a cliff on its eastern side. How much do you guys think you... I mean, the person that you're looking for is fairly well known, you know, just in a general sense. Laeral Silverhand. How did you guys want to try and find her?
I suppose we could ask around to see if anyone knows where she might currently be.
Yeah, it could be resolved with probably just like an investigation or a history check.
Happy to do either of those.
Yeah, I'll slap you with guidance.
Do you want some bad luck?
Say again?
Do you want another D4?
On top of guidance? Sure,
Yeah.
I'll never say no to an additional D4.
Cool. You get an additional D4.
Hot damn. All right. Investigation. Jin's pretty good at finding people in urban areas at this point. Plus another D4 on top of that. You have a
Another
29.
You guys do know that Laeral Silverhand is no longer the open Lord of Waterdeep, and she does have a modest house. It's like a little 2-story sort of lighthouse-looking building in the North Ward of Waterdeep, tucked away in the northeastern portion of the city, where the rest of the nobles have their villas. That would probably be the most logical place to begin. If she's not there, it just gets a little more sticky after that.
Yeah. Lead the group in that direction first. As we investigate.
Yeah, do you guys bring the ship down somewhere sort of out of the way and walk into the city?
Yeah, cloak it.
Yes, and
Lilith's
Mercy.
gonna...
Good.
I was just gonna say, Lilith's gonna split off from the party and go to the library, the closest library to them.
There would definitely probably be a pretty nice library in the North Ward. That's probably where the largest one would be.
Alright, yeah, she goes there.
Okay.
We probably shouldn't, any of us, go alone anywhere if we can help it.
Read.
You like Maggie pops up. She's like, "It's fine. I got Maggie."
Well, Mercy can go with you, and the three of us can go get Silverhand.
Okay,
Yeah,
that works.
I think Lady Silverhand will be most trusting of the three most powerful magic users in our party.
Yeah, we are pretty powerful.
All right, and just remember my warning. Do not trust. Uh, I do not have faith in magical communication, as I once did. So be mindful that anything you say or send via transmission might be intercepted and or scrambled by hostile forces.
And if you guys run into any trouble and you want to use some chaos, he pulls out a small bottle of a random magical tea. If something happens and you need some help, drink this and something will happen.
Well, Mavathor also has the other matching piece of the communicators.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah, I
true.
looked those up. Apparently, they're basically just little earpieces.
Oh.
Oh, the walkie-talkies? Oh, those are neat.
They're just kind of like sending stones, right?
Something like that, but they're technological because they're Eberron.
Yeah.
Be mindful that the Mordekash? Is that his name?
Yeah, Mordekash.
Mordekash might have technology on a ship capable of intercepting a signal.
Yeah.
Got it. So why don't we just say we meet here in like an hour?
That works.
Okay.
Okay.
If the city explodes, I'll know whose fault it was and where to find you.
I mean, if you get a bunch of magic users together, I don't think they're going to finish in an hour, but sure.
Well, so who's going to Laerl's home?
The
Guys.
boys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that, the two who are most familiar with this realm go, but then Lepus had to, throw that insult in there.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'm
Boys
going
find
with
out.
Lilith to the library, so.
Okay. Well, the three of you head to. Well, you all head into the north ward of the city, and the three of you find Laeril's home, which is. It kind of stands out amongst the rest of the sort of large, sprawling villas with well-manicured gardens and lawns. It's just sort of pinched between two estates, and it's this slender two-story sort of white little lighthouse-looking structure. It's just got like a simple arched large wooden door in the front. But there's the symbol of Mistra painted on it.
So who's gonna knock?
I'll do it, unless you want to proceed, Mavathor.
Be my guest.
Not my realm, but here we go. Knock, knock.
Yeah, you can hear your knock sort of reverberate through the inside of the lighthouse, and not but a few moments later, the two doors swing inward, and you guys see sort of a tall, very beautiful. Not exactly identical twins with her sister, but you can see the similarities. Woman with silvery hair that's sort of pulled back and twisted in these large braids that flow down over her shoulders. She's just in like a sort of fitted, simple white dress, and she, when the two doors swing open inward, you can see like the inside of her space is kind of like some sort of extra dimensional space. You can see a big sort of sprawling marble floors behind her, and there's a large spiraled staircase that you can see that spirals up through the lighthouse, and there's like art objects and a big sort of piano off to one side, and she says, yes, can I help you? I don't recall having any meetings today.
We come on urgent business.
Well, then...
The behest of your sister.
Which one?
Illustrial.
Please, come inside.
Lebcast Trucy.
Huh?
Lebcast Trucy.
Oh,
Just
okay.
to be on the same side.
Sure.
If this bitch is not who she says she is.
It gets counterspelled, and
Leb counterspell says counterspell.
What?
I applaud your diligence, Lethus.
What level do you cast counterspell?
Well, if she's casting it, he's gonna cast it at 3rd level.
She had cast a 7th level counterspell.
Oh, then he'll cast a 7th level counterspell.
Okay. Do we have to roll for that?
Good lord.
No.
No.
Please forgive my compatriot. He's only 93.
She
I've
chuckles.
had
Not
a
an adult
stalker.
yet.
She chuckles and she says, it's quite rude to interrupt a lady and then cast magic in her presence unannounced.
We've had a dangerous vampire stalker. You can never be too careful.
Well, seeing as the company my sister has been keeping as of late, I guess I can't say that I blame you. As I said, please come in. And she directs you inside, off to the side as you guys step in and the doors swing close behind you. There's sort of a large sitting room that are lined with these long sort of green velvet, cozy-looking couches, and she takes a seat in the corner of one, and she gestures for you all to sit. She says, are you parched or hungry? Can I get you anything before we speak?
We're a little pressed for time at the moment, so...
Mavathor Jin sort of cuts you off with a wave of his hand, and he says, a water and simple bread with salt. Lovely, thank you.
Yeah, she snaps her fingers, and a little silver tray appears on the sort of little marbled coffee table there with some like 3 kinds of bread, and you can see the bread is like steaming like it's warm, and there's a glass little vase of water and 4 cups, and she pours water into each of them, and she takes a sip from hers. So she looks at you, Mavathor, and she says, so what sort of trouble is my sister in?
We're not completely certain of the magnitude of the trouble she is in, but she was traveling with the witch known as Tasha. He kind of looks to see if she's familiar with Tasha.
Yes, I had warned her on several occasions of carousing with witches of her ilk.
Right, well,
Hey, Tasha's a good person.
That is not what her history would say.
Well, people can change.
history notwithstanding, she was traveling with Tasha, and we happened to meet with her in the Astral Sea, chasing an artifact down. But she and Tasha had discovered a plot that Vecna is attempting to see fulfilled, installing his own will and leadership across the entire multiverse. Tasha and Lestriel decided to go visit Orith, Vecna's homeworld, to see if they could uncover any clues. And we learned from Tasha that Lestriel may have been killed or captured by Vecna.
And so, what aid do you ask of me?
We recently found out that Vecna has been studying these artifacts, and he'll look Jin to see if he can replicate the obelisk that.
Um, in the air, or above the, or yeah, in the air, Jin will scroll out a series of um dark silvery glyphs. And Vecna seems to be hunting down these obelisks um, created by the Netherese. And this is a language I have been unable to comprehend thus far. It seems to have within it an incredible potency. And Vecna has been utilizing that potency to do terrible things. It's our understanding that you might be one of the few people who can read this language.
I can read the language of the Netherese, but the sigils conjured here upon this image are not of Loros. To understand them, one would have to have read all the knowledge contained within the Nether Scrolls.
Okay, well, it's clear Vecna has acquired those potentially because he was able to inscribe them upon his body and utilize them to some degree.
That would indeed mean that he does possess at least one of the scrolls. As far as I know, there are 5 scrolls still recorded to exist. But any one of them contained the knowledge required to unlock the power of the sigils upon the obelisks.
Do you know where we might find one?
She says, hold on. My notes are a little jumbled.
We cannot fight. We cannot defend ourselves. It's very difficult to defend ourselves against a power that we do not understand. Thus, it behooves us to learn this power, what it can do, and if nothing else, to better find a workaround.
Or deprive Vecna of acquiring any more of this power.
She says, yes, I think I recall now. The last known emergence of one of the 5 known existing Nether Scrolls was found by a group of adventurers. Though they disappeared just before Elturel's fall. If Vecna is in possession of one of these scrolls, I would assume that it was probably him that was responsible for the disappearance of these adventurers. The Nether Scrolls have changed hands many times throughout the ages, stolen, lost, hidden. I could engage my network of contacts to see if I can come up with any leads for you, but it would take me some time.
Any aid you can provide would be substantial.
Yes.
Do you know if these scrolls are shielded from divination?
I would say that if they weren't, they would probably most likely all be in protected possession by now. The Harpers.
My thought as well.
The Harpers. There are a small group of Harpers dedicated to tracking down the Nether Scrolls whenever a lead is found on them. But currently, we have none of them in our possession.
I don't think... Does Jin know anything about the Harpers?
You probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Harpers. I will at the mention of Elturel, I'll turn to Mavathor and ask. You were at Elturel's fall. Did you hear anything of a group of adventurers prior to its descent?
Woody, ever heard of this?
I would say that it would probably be news that might have spread with those with the ears curious enough to listen to that kind of information being passed around. So, yeah, you probably may have heard something about it. A group of adventurers uncovered the nether scrolls of Azumar in the jungles of Chult. And shortly after they returned to the Sword Coast to celebrate such a prolific find of ancient magical artifice, they all disappeared, the entire 5 of the adventuring party.
Well, that doesn't really help us much.
Killed or worse, likely.
She says, I can tell you what I know of the obelisks. They were created by an enigmatic group of spellcasters known as the Weavers. They're... the Weavers preceded the Netherese, and information regarding these obelisks' creation eventually found its way to the Netherese Arcanist, who then used the Nether Scrolls to create replicas of them. It is rumored the original obelisks that were created were effectively made to work as a safeguard in case of a truly catastrophic event. They were capable of altering time and reality on a grand scale.
That sounds like fun.
Talking about mythals?
Something like that. It is said that an individual could... an individual associated with an obelisk, or one that they helped create, could merely reverse the age of every nearby being by a decade's time, or even go so far as to transport an entire world thousands of years in the past within their timeline. But full activation of these powers required another powerful artifact that had to be keyed into an obelisk. The last time it was said the obelisks were used in this way was by an arcanist by the name of Iolarthus, a Netherese wizard wielding a staff of great power. He was one of the ruling wizards in the floating city of Thrin that hovered above the lands now known as Icewind Dale. It is said that Thrin had one of these obelisks in the center of their city. But of course, as we all know, these floating nations crashed into the earth some time ago, and Thrin has been lost ever since. Not that there hasn't been great effort into trying to find the lost Netherese city.
Well, Vecna has been very interested in Icewind Dale as of very recently.
Now we know why.
If he does possess another scroll, and he already has an obelisk in his possession as well, if he has the power to unlock the magic contained within the obelisks, the knowledge to do so, then I would imagine if I was Vecna, that would become my top priority. Seeking out every obelisk I could and making its power my own.
Okay, well, if we don't have the option to read the obelisks, is there a way to destroy them?
The obelisks were described as being formed from obsidian or some sort of polished, rune-covered black stone. Sometimes even some unidentified type of dark metal. I would imagine that, like any material object, there are ways that can be destroyed.
Do you think
Say a disintegrate spell?
It is possible. All of that would be purely theoretical on my part.
We'll take anything we can get at this point.
There are ways to apply a significant amount of force to an object. We can explore that as the situation calls for it.
There was one of these obelisks discovered where in the very same place the adventurers that uncovered the Nether Scroll were traveling. One of these obelisks was once found deep in the jungles of Cholt, but it had been ruined or damaged, some say, by the Arch Lich Acerak.
Who's that?
Well, horror.
A terrifying villain known for his creative ways of tormenting treasure hunters and relic seekers. He's created some of the most horrifying traps known to ever exist throughout the multiverse.
The stories surrounding him are uniquely unpleasant, but I can tell you about them another time.
I could imagine someone like Acerak being frustrated and unable to use the obelisk himself in destroying it in anger, so no one else could claim its powers.
So you theorize that even if a part of the obelisk is destroyed, it becomes completely worthless?
I would think so. Magic can be fragile. If the obelisk were not completely intact, it is very possible that they would lose their power. At least some of it.
Magical constructs have a tendency to be complicated. Shift one piece out of an alignment, the whole thing can collapse.
Well, is there a way to repair an obelisk?
Only if you possess the knowledge contained within the Nether Scrolls.
Well, maybe we should go to Chult and either fully destroy that obelisk or do something with it. We shouldn't just leave it sitting there. After
I
we do
agree.
it.
I agree, but that will likely have to be a lower priority.
No, yeah. I'm saying afterwards, after this.
It can go on our to-do list. I feel like I'm missing something. Do we have any other questions for this person?
This rod you spoke of before, did it have a name?
The rod, or the staff wielded by the Netherese Arcanist, Eriolathus, unfortunately, no, I don't have the name of his staff.
Alright, well.
It is quite likely that he since the fall of Thryn, he was never heard from again. It is quite possible that in Thryn's fall, Eriolathus went down with his ship, and so it sounds like the best thing for you to do would get lucky and uncover the lost Netherese city of Thryn. You might discover an obelisk of your own and an object with the power to use it.
Well, we're some of the luckiest people here. I'm sure we can do it.
Unironically true.
Yes, well.
Are there any other insights you can provide to the Netherese, their language?
Yes, the Netherese spoke a language called Laros, which was sort of quite similar to Elven, actually. The Netherese originally were simple farmers and fishermen until a very long time ago they came into contact with a race of elves that taught them magic. Then the Netheril discovered the first of the Elder Scrolls, and they parted way from the elves, finding the Elven
Scrolls.
Uh,
Not Elder Scrolls, that's an entirely different franchise.
I caught that too.
Yeah.
what did I say?
I mean,
You said the
unless
Elder
it's,
Scrolls, not the Nether Scrolls.
Sorry.
unless it's canon.
Well,
unless it's canon.
the elves have some too. It's complicated. Yeah, she says but yes, the Nether Scrolls. The Netheril discovered the Nether Scrolls, and they parted ways from the elves, finding the once they possessed the knowledge within the Nether Scrolls, they found the elven magic to be crude. And they went their own way. Their empire became the pinnacle of human civilization during the first half of the Age of Humanity. But their written language is similar to Draconic of modern day, and their spoken language resembled some qualities of ancient Elven. If you understand Elven, you could likely understand Laros, and if you can read Draconic, you could likely read Laros as well. But these sigils are something else. They are birthed from the knowledge within the Nether Scrolls themselves. They are neither Elven nor Draconic, but something within the Nether Scrolls that is entirely different.
You know that...
Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, she says, the Nether Scrolls, as I said, were a set of small scrolls that describe the fundamental magical theory, and two sets were known to exist. They provided a vast body of arcane knowledge, and it would take 10 days in order to even begin to comprehend the contents of a single scroll. Even rereading the scrolls provided additional knowledge and information. There did not seem to be any limit to the amount of information one scroll could contain. Although the amount of knowledge wasn't endless, it would still require an entire month to read a single one.
That's sort of
insignificant. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I don't want to do too much of a lore dump.
Lep sort of taps gently on his sword as he looks them at with Thor and Jin. I mean, if you want, I could wish for something like that. I mean, I don't know exactly how it would work, but that is an option we have.
Everyone look to Laurel and see what she thinks about this.
Well, I'm sure that is one way that the scrolls have been discovered, likely more than once, but wish can be dangerous magic, and there can always be unpredictable and unintended consequences of using such methods. But in desperate times, sometimes desperate measures are required.
Normally I'd be against this, but it might be worth finding out where the scrolls are currently. At the very least, then we can have something to go off of.
I would be so very careful. That is exceedingly dangerous magic.
I know, this isn't the first time I've done this. We've been through this dance a couple times.
I think I would caution against wishing for a scroll or the scrolls themselves.
So just
I think that would backfire. I would suggest, if you're going to try this, wish to know the exact locations of a single scroll or all of the scrolls. All of the scrolls might still be reaching. but something like, I wish to know the safest path to the nearest nether scroll. Or I wish to know how to retrieve the nearest nether scroll safely.
Okay.
Something along those lines.
Okay.
But this is I will leave this in your hands. So
Well, as our host, are you okay with me casting that kind of magic in here? Or would you prefer to me to do it outside of the city?
As long as you give me the courtesy of asking permission, you're more than welcome to try. I would be curious to see the results of your casting.
Yes. Like I said, I've pulled 9 cards from the deck of many things. I've wished for more things. I've done some cool things. It's okay.
Did you say 9?
Yeah.
Laeral
Yeah.
reaches out and she touches your neck and she says, "I'm surprised you still have a pulse."
Yeah. No, I've
Aren't
said
we
this
all?
before.
Isn't he still a vampire?
He's sort of half and half, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Lep will pull out the luck blade, and you guys should probably be at least like 20 feet away while I do this to be on the safe
Yes.
side.
Then we'll stand well back.
There's like a big, after you come into the entryway, there's like a big opening, and it's just like this sprawling sort of white and gray speckled marble floor. And you can see there's like, you know, etched in the marble flooring, there's like arcane symbols, and in the middle there's just a large circle. She says, you can cast your spell there in the center of the room.
Okay.
I'll do our host the courtesy of letting her know that Lepus is wild magic blooded.
Oh, well, it should be fine in there.
Yeah. I have been meaning to ask this for a while because I have been curious. Because Lep is a wild magic sorcerer, and because Wish is more or less just trying to control wild magic, would it help him if he were to cause more wild magic as he casts Wish? As like, could he?
I would think I would say that your wild magic more than anything else would make your wish more unpredictable than less.
Okay, so I don't do that. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's up to you, but I don't know. I don't know that the wild magic would make the wish go better.
No. Not this. He'll have both hands on the luck blade as he holds out in front of them. He'll take a deep breath, and he'll say, he'll look to Jin. Jin, what did you need me to say again?
Oh God.
This on me. Here, hang on a second. Okay. I wish to have the knowledge of the location and safest path to the nearest nether scroll, forever imprinted in my memory, easily accessible.
Okay.
That exceeds 6 seconds easily.
Not really. I just said it in less than 6 seconds.
Okay, well, can you say that a bit slower? I'm trying to write that down.
I, Lepus, the son of Baba Yaga, wish to have the knowledge of the. I, Lepus, the son of Baba Yaga, wish to have the knowledge of the safest path to the nearest nether scroll, forever imprinted on my memory, easily accessible.
The saveth pass to the nearest nether scroll permanently imprinted
On my memory, easily accessible.
on my memory, easily accessible. Okay. Let's try this. Puts both hands on the sword. And he takes a deep breath as he speaks. I, Lepus, the son of the Baba Yaga, wish to have the knowledge of the saveth pass to the nearest nether scroll permanently imprinted on my memory, easily accessible.
So the
You went
easily
2 seconds
accessible
over.
doesn't make it in there.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just timed it. It was 8.1 seconds.
That could be done in 6 seconds easy.
So probably the permanently imprinted on my memory part is probably cut off.
well, I would think easily accessible would be.
Okay, let's see. The stress of casting the spell to produce any effect other than duplicating another spell we can do. After and during the stress, each time you cast a spell until you finish a long rest, you take 1d necrotic damage per level. For each of these days, you spend resting and doing nothing more than light activity. Okay. Roll a d100.
Oh boy.
Come on. I need to be able to cast another wish.
Ah, you got it.
Cool. I can
All
do
right.
it again.
Here's what
Never punished.
Never.
Always on the
No
good luck streak.
consequences. No consequences.
Oh, feels good to be me.
Okay, here's what you see. You get like a flash of the safest. You said the safest path to the nearest nether scroll, right?
Yes.
Okay, here's what you see. You have like a flash and in your mind, and it's like one of your memories of when you guys were back in Tasha's tree, and Tasha and Illustrial were showing you the map of the cosmos, you know?
Yeah.
And you have a flash of this memory of you guys sitting around the table, like gawking at the map of the cosmos, and in that memory, there's a planet in the map of the cosmos that is orbited by 3 moons. That's kind of like glowing, and you can see like when they showed you the cosmos map, like between all the different worlds. Some worlds had these sort of worm-like trails of magic flowing between them, and these sort of wormholes that connects to some worlds and are broken apart between others, flows from Faerun to another world in the astral sea, and this world orbited by 3 moons. When they show you the cosmos map, and they were kind of like flipping, through and zooming in on different parts, all the little different worlds, many of them had names, and this little world that's kind of highlighted in your mind
Copycat
is Kryn.
Oh yeah, as Lep casts his wish spell, he'll use his copycat ring to copy the wish, and
Ooh.
he's going to cast Simulacrum on himself.
Using wish?
Yep. So no stressor.
Ah. So a Mavathor appears beside you? Another Mavathor?
Oh
Oh, no.
Well, he doesn't have any of the items that I have, but he's still full. He's a 15th level cleric.
As you are, your ring flashes and you copy the spell, and when you go to cast Simulacrum, Laeral cast Counterspell at 7th level. It's just kind of like instinctive reaction for her. And she says, I did mention twice now that I would like you to ask permission to cast magic in my presence.
Understood.
So is that all that Lep sees?
Sorry for interrupting, Ryan.
That's okay. Yes, there's a sort of a magical gateway that flows through astral space that sometimes connects different worlds together. That flows from Faerun to Kryn. This world in this sort of same realm space as the world you currently are on, and the path is kind of like highlighted in your mind.
Yeah, I imagine Lep does that, and then he sort of looks at Ginny. He's like, "Do you have paper?"
And hastily pulls out a stack of paper and the writing implements.
Lep is does his best.
And suggests that we should probably do this. No, well, whatever. We'll just.
Lep is gonna write down the path that he saw, the connection between Faerun and this Kryn planet. What the planet looked like with the 3 moons orbiting around it. Basically, everything that he saw, he's gonna try and write down, so that to the best of his ability.
I'm just gonna hope to hell that the Silverhand sister's not cast.
Well, Lep has True Sight still on him, so she shouldn't be.
I mean, it doesn't look like Cass.
Yeah.
We cast 2 7th level spells. I don't think Cass has that arcane behind him.
Yeah.
Laeral says, interesting. I'm surprised to see that one of the scrolls is so close. Kryn is a large world. You will all have your work cut out for you there. And it is even more primitive than Faerun.
We'll be fine. I have belief in us.
We are grateful for your hospitality and for your assistance.
She says, I will engage the Harpers and have them see what they can dig up on the possible location of any other scrolls. If you wish, you can come see me again in 10 days' time. By then, I will either have unearthed some pertinent information for you, or I won't, I suppose.
Should you encounter any of us on our own, or should any one of us approach you on our own, kill us. For that person is an imposter. We will not approach you in any group smaller than 2. As a security measure, there's a person who has a significant disguise power.
Like I said, I was stalker.
He goes by the name Cass the Betrayer.
The Lich Vecna's arch nemesis.
The enemy of our enemy in this case is unfortunately still our enemy. So as this precaution, the next time we meet, it will be with it won't be alone. It will never be alone. So if you see someone wearing our guise and it is only a single person, kill that person.
Well, I try not to make it a habit of going around and murdering people, but I will be cautious.
Mordenkainen was dispatched in a similar manner. So be aware.
Yes, that also brings up a similar tangent that apparently Illustrial Tasha and the man, Cass, who was pretending to be Mordenkainen, attempted to use a combined wish spell to foil Vecna's plans, but obviously since Cass himself does not possess the arcane ability, the wish failed.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know much more beyond the small histories written of Cass and Vecna. But it is clear that both of them are formidable opponents. She says, I'm quite irritated to hear that my sister has gone missing. And to be quite honest with you, I wouldn't even be surprised if the witch known as Tasha wasn't working with either Cass or Vecna.
She's not. She's good.
Sort of looks to Lep and says, and really, what evidence do you pose for this?
Oh, really? You're saying that people with bad histories can't be good?
No, I'm just saying that we don't know her MO.
Tasha did become famous for writing some of the most vile texts known to man. It is rumored that she'd spent a formidable portion of her life in the Abyss. Seems like just the sort of person to me that would betray someone like my sister.
Well, she would. Okay.
Unquenchable.
Given what I read of her library, I imagine some of those rumors are even true.
She also spent a considerable amount of time around the demon prince Grazit, who's known for being the demon prince of pleasure, decadence, and self-indulgence.
I thought he was the demon prince of flies. I must have read the wrong book.
My sister has always been far more trusting than myself of people. Her good nature has always extended far too long to my taste. I would just be wary of the company you keep.
We will remain vigilant. We are grateful for your warning.
Lep walks out.
One last thing. The artifact that seemed to allow a cast to perfectly replicate an individual, even including their knowledge, he'll kind of give a physical description of it and ask if she's heard of it or if, she might have a countermeasure to it.
Yeah. Let me see.
When did we learn that it was an artifact? I mean, it probably is.
He just kind of assumed it was an artifact because.
Okay.
I think there has been 2 occasions where you've seen Cass take a crown off of his head, and
yeah, one was in the Mournlands.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
right.
Yeah. With Lilith and Lep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. She says, I could look it up. I could probably answer it better if we were in the other module, but she says, well, if Cass was able to fool Tasha and my sister, whatever it is he's using to disguise his presence is quite powerful indeed.
Admittedly, they didn't know they were being deceived to begin with, so.
Well, this just makes me more suspicious. If Tasha was working with Cass, she might have, to fool my sister, then she might have been in on it the whole time. Nevertheless, my sister is not foolish, even though she may be kind. And she did have a relationship with Mordenkainen. So, if Cass was able to fool her enough to attempt to cast a spell together, then whatever means Cass is using to disguise himself, I would say, is quite powerful indeed. Off the top of my head, I know of no such object, but that is another issue I could bring to the Harpers.
Yeah. Anything to help?
There is a catalog of most magical objects that have ever been forged on Faerun. I would say that whatever Cass has in his possession may have been forged on another world. Maybe perhaps even in another time.
We go about our stuff, we'll keep an eye out.
Let me see. Yes, okay. She says, but yes, the more I think of it, I know of no such object that could deceive normal means of magical detection.
Something bound with a mind blank spell would get the shield one from most, but mind blank does not protect. Mind blank does not provide the sort of impersonation ability that Cass has been shown to possess.
Yes, he possessed knowledge that I believe wouldn't be normally available to him. Specifically, the question Elestriel gave us to verify Mordenkainen's identity.
Well, it does sound to me like, at the very least, this Cass is a man who does his research. If he spent time disguised as Mordenkainen in the presence of my sister and Tasha, it is likely that he may have gleaned some information that wasn't intended for him. If his disguise is as prolific as you say it can be.
I believe it is, but I do think his disguise doesn't impart him any of the abilities of the person he replicates.
Any of the magic abilities.
Yes,
He
specifically
was still
magic.
able to use. He was still able to use Mordenkainen's weapon with similar proficiency if memory serves.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you can all still see the silver lining in things.
Yeah, so I suppose we could form a countermeasure that we show off one of our magical abilities to show that we are who we are.
There's more than that, but yeah, that's the start. In any case, we should probably reconvene with the others. We have much to do. Once again, thank you very much for your insights, wisdom, and hospitality. If there's a significant favor that is within our power to grant in the future, know that you will have our assistance.
I would like to know what happened to my sister, so perhaps the next time you meet with your companion Tasha, you can ask for me.
We'll keep our eye out for her.
I will do all I can to learn Elestriel's current whereabouts, and barring that, her fate.
Thank you. She says, well then, I suppose I will see you all in 10 days' time. Hopefully I'll have some good news for you.
And that's for you as well. With a nod and a bow.
Yeah, she waves her hand and the doors of the lighthouse open to the streets of Waterdeep. What are you guys looking for in the libraries? You guys find near the center of the same district you guys are currently in, a large sprawling archive, a public library for those who are residents of this part of the city.
She is going to be looking for books on metallic dragon dens, like around the area.
Okay. Metallic dragons. Holy shit. There are a lot of fucking dragons in D&D.
Oh, I know, it's fun.
Oh, yes. Especially in this region.
Metallic dragons. Okay, there we go. Let me see if I can pop a couple up. I'll make a quick little list here of some of the more recent ones. Or, yeah, let me pop a handout up real quick. I'll copy pasta a couple for you here real fast. Living dragons. Whoops. Don't do this to me.
Don't chase me, bro. Or don't crash on me, bro. Batting ninth for the New York Yankees, number 27, Rick James.
Alright, that's not working out for me. You do find like a catalog of like named or known dragons throughout the history of Faerun, and here's some of the ones that stick out to you as you're flipping through the books. As you find they're both living, and their last known whereabouts were recorded in sort of more recent time.
Mercy, there's one here.
And which one would that be?
Arnex? Is that how you pronounce it?
I think the better question would be, is this region territory to another dragon? They tend to be kind of territorial.
Perhaps. But then again, the animals seem to like me, so...
Maybe don't call them animals to their face.
No.
When you're done, Ryan, could I maybe try and see if I can find information on if there is a dragon who calls this place home?
Calls which place home?
This area we are in or heading to.
Waterdeep.
Well, yeah. There's a gold dragon that seems to be residing in Waterdeep itself. But you're talking more chromatic dragons, right? The bad ones, the evil ones.
Well, Lilith is looking for a metallic to possibly lend aid, and I just wanted to make sure we weren't going to cause a territory dispute if she asked aid from a different one.
I mean, I think any dragon that you were asking aid for that shared the same goals wouldn't have a problem like working together.
Okay, does the book have a rough, like, exact location of where we could find them then?
Yeah, I posted some in the Discord or in the Roll20.
Yeah, I meant like the location of their den or something, somewhere where we could actually go speak to them. It says that it's in Waterdeep, but I didn't know if that meant in the city or...
Yeah, I mean, that's something I'd have to prepare. I don't have all these dragons and their lairs on hand. But yes, you could find any of these ones that I posted. I just would need a little bit of time to set up, an encounter.
Yeah, no problem.
An encounter with them.
Yeah, can I just make a copy of the list to take with us?
Yeah. Those flipping through the books look like some of your best bets if you're seeking to enlist some kind of aid.
Didn't Mavathor, I think, mention that this region where Tiamat emerged was home to someone else?
There are two dragons that have layers in near the spine of the world or in Icewind Dale themselves. One of them is a white dragon.
Included both of them in his briefing. Cloth is the white one. I thought cloth was red.
Cloth is red. How do you spell that again? Kloth?
Klauth.
Yeah, cloth is a red dragon that does layer in the spine of the world, and there is another white dragon by the name of Arviatris.
That's right.
That also lives in Icewind Dale.
I thought someone had mentioned something like a frost maiden or something, but my brain scrambled, so don't quote me on that.
Yeah. I believe that I had mentioned this dragon would have been nearby enough where Tiamat emerged that it would have probably felt the presence of the Queen of Dragons emerging from its prison and perhaps came to its aid.
Okay, so we might have to fight multiple dragons. That's fun.
Yeah, I mean, you guys do know definitely that Tiamat. It's quite possible that Tiamat and those, at least those two, Cloth and that White Dragon, are possibly both also lingering in the area where you're heading. And you guys can definitely go and hit up some dragons if you want to. Just let me know the ones, and I'll get them as prepared as NPCs that I actually know things about and can properly, incorporate into the game in some way.
Awesome.
But I don't want to make you guys just sit here while I'm like Googling, dragons.
Oh, you're good. Yeah. I think that's pretty much all Lilith is gonna take a look for.
And if there was any other ones that you were curious about, Lilith, you can take a look at this list here. I'll post it in Discord.
Okay.
I had no idea there were so many named dragons.
Yep, there are quite a few.
Things just keep scrolling.
Oh my god, it goes on forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's called Dungeons and Dragons for a reason. And it's
true.
not because the
Very
dungeons
true.
are particularly famous.
Yeah. That's the first time I've ever looked at this list. Surprisingly.
Oh, while she's doing that, can I make a perception check to make sure we're not being followed or watched?
Yeah, sure. The library is fairly quiet at the moment. Outside of some, robed figures milling around that look like they work there. There's a few, nobles perusing the shelves, a few down reading at tables quietly. You don't seem to catch anyone's prying eyes lingering on you or Lilith too much.
Okay, yeah, she's probably just going to continue keeping watch.
Yeah, so before next week, Lilith, just send me a list of some of the dragons you might want to try and go and contact, and I'll just make sure that I get to know those dragons a little bit so you can find them and actually speak to them.
Right, perfect. Will do.
You guys meet back at the ship after about an hour. Unless there's any other stuff that you guys wanted to take care of in Waterdeep while you're here.
I don't think so.
We got all of our shopping done, right?
Yeah. Could Lap do a quick sending before we leave?
Sure.
You never learn.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not this time. I swear.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna cast sending Natasha and say, "Hey sis, I hope things have been going well. We should meet up soon to talk. I have good news and bad news. And weird news. Alright, love you. Bye."
You get a response as you're making your way back to the ship, and Tasha says, I can't wait to hear all of it, brother. I will be disembarking from Oreth in 2 days' time and returning to the Prime Material Plane.
Cool. Thank you.
You guys meet back on the ship, and you set your course for beyond the spine of the world, into the frigid lands of the north. You fly over the big craggy mountain pass that towers over the southern lands of the Sword Coast, and emerge on the other side into the lands of Icewind Dale.
I think we're not sure how long.
Let me see here. Icewind Dale through the windows of the ship. As you fly over the jagged rocky mountains, you can see the landscape below you kind of flattens out into rolling snowy hills. You can see small patches of forests sort of spatter the lower edges of the mountains on the other side. And other than that, it is just a large blanket of white. You guys pass over a frozen lake. You can see large chunks of ice kind of floating near its center. You guys are heading for Bryn Shander, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
You bring your ship down in a small wooded area about 3 miles outside of Bryn Shander. And having just uploaded like general information about Faerun and its inhabitants, Mercy, into the ship. You know that whoops, wrong. Bryn Shander is the largest of the 10 towns. It is quite often the first stop for most visitors to Icewind Dale. It is a walled town perched atop a cold, lonely, wind-lashed hill. you guys trudge the couple of miles to Bryn Shander, and as you enter the city, you can see bright lanterns suspended over the narrow streets that sort of twist in the frigid winds that add little flecks of color to the town's otherwise drab surroundings. The town of Bryn Shander's population is about 1,200. It is led by Speaker Duvessa Shane and its sheriff, Markham Southwell. It is sort of the capital of the 10 towns. When you guys enter the town, most of its inhabitants are bundled up in large furs and warm winter clothing. Most people that you find in the streets are covered from head to toe. All you can really make out is just the slivers of their faces, not covered as they pass through the streets.
This is where we were supposed to meet Brune?
This is where Mavathor is delivering a message.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, and I thought we could probably ask the mayor for more information about, like, where the undead are currently, if they're showing any levels of intelligence or guided intelligence.
And any other recent disturbances to the area.
Mm-hmm.
People who live in harsh environments tend to be insular, or tend to be more vigilant from changes in their environment.
As we're walking, Lilith's gonna pick up some snow and throw it at Mercy.
Go ahead. See if you can hit.
Revised weapon.
Reverse weapon. This dude just sticks.
Yep.
Not even close.
When you go to pick up when you go to throw the snowball, Quotient kind of steers it on course, so you have help and advantage.
The betrayal. And it didn't help.
Nope.
Damn it, she's too fast.
Yeah, the snowball veers, and you're sort of from behind. You hurl a ball of snow at Mercy, and it flies past her, and it hits it hits a dwarf walking the other way right in the face, and he like throws his hands up in the air and he goes, "Hey, what the heck?"
Ari,
Lord, that was so good. Oh my God.
we were just having some fun.
Are you like racist towards dwarves? I never knew that.
She just kind of takes her hand and like puts it over Lep's mouth.
Is there
He just
a
hides it
roof
by-
near Lilith?
Huh?
Is there like a roof or something near Lilith?
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, you guys are passing through the streets, so you're like walking under the rooftops, which are still, though they have deep slants, are packed with thick foot or so of snow.
Can I reach up and try and tap one and knock everything off on top of Lilith?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Mercy, with your height, you kind of jump and slap the edge of one of the rooftops you guys are passing by, and the snow kind of collapses and begins to just tumble off down onto the streets, and a big plume of white snow just plops on your head, Lilith. I guess
She
you
shovels it up and she throws it at Mercy again.
I guess you could make an acrobatics check to tumble out of the way.
You might want to dress for the weather, Liz.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tumble.
Okay.
You tumble.
Okay.
You tumble. You tumble to one side and grab another handful of snow as you tumble and hurl another ball Mercy's way.
It just gives the two of you a look. Really?
You know, can Lep throw a snowball at Lilith?
I thought there would be like a 30.
I thought you were mad at me.
He is, but this is a bit too fun.
I thought there'd be a 30% chance of a
random
snowball fight.
Can he use like a random magical potion on the snowball? So, like when if it hits Lilith, it'll do something.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, great.
Random magical snow cone.
Yeah,
Mercy's
random.
gonna use her long legs to take a couple steps away.
I'm gonna add a D4 to that through
Oh, even if you did, don't even try. It's not gonna hit me.
it's
20 now.
Oh well, you know what? We're lucky, so we're gonna try that again.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, that don't work. Okay.
Yeah, you pour a random magical potion into a snowball Lep, and you hurl it at Lilith. Roll a d20 for me.
Oh no.
We're gonna get kicked out of this town.
We are.
Your snowball flies past Lilith, and there's like a woman walking with her two children, which look like they're probably about the age of 7 and 10 years old, and they're they're like holding her hands, and the your snowball hits the smaller one in the back of the head, and he like, you know, he's got like a big oversized furry coat on, and he tries to like turn his body, but his arms are just like out to his sides, you know, to like see what hit him, and then he starts to float up into the air. And he's like, Mom! And he floats like up to like the roof height, and he just keeps floating off into the sky.
Can Lep fly?
Yeah, the mom's. Anyone, someone help! My child is floating away.
Lep flies up and he grabs the child. You shouldn't be in front of magical snow cones, you know? That's really bad. It's a natural phenomenon. You should never do that.
Are we really doing this?
Yeah, the mother says, "Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you were here." And you set the kid back down in the snow, and as soon as you take your hands off him, he starts like floating up again. And you have
He'll cast Dispel Magic on him.
Okay, make a perception check for me.
Yeah.
Let's gonna prepare the rope to make her a little leash.
That's a 23.
While they're doing this, can I have like snuck around the corner to find the guard?
Yeah, I'll get there in a sec. So you as you're like looking at the mother, and she's trying to thank you for flying her child back down, and you're kind of like holding him on the ground or whatever. You feel a tiny little hand like reach in to grab one of your random magical potions.
One hand is on the child, the other hand goes to grab a hand that I tried to steal from him.
Yeah, you like grab his wrist as he's like trying to find steal a potion from you.
You shouldn't steal from people. That's bad.
He says, sorry.
Well, especially these potions, and he'll take it out and he'll say, it's really bad. You shouldn't drink these things. And he's going to drink it and say, this is why you don't drink these things.
Roll d20.
Well, it should be something super good that makes the kid want it more.
Yeah.
That's a 4.
Through a banana for 10 minutes.
Turn into a potted plant.
One of
You're
these
a
days.
snow cone.
It's not
You're
Oh,
a
it's-
snowman for the next hour.
Yeah, faint whispers start to sort of emanate out all around you, Lep, and they're like thief, punish the child.
Oh no.
Oh.
And
Well,
these like ghostly, scary whispers like freak the kid out, and he like puts his hands over his ears and, okay, I won't steal.
Okay, thank you. Now keep this kid on the ground, okay? It shouldn't last for much longer.
Yeah, it kind of starts to wear off. The mom shakes her head, and every like 10 seconds or so, she like brings her hand off, and she finally does, and the kid like stomps his feet, and he says, "Oh, fun while it lasted."
Now stay out of trouble, you kids. And make sure to never be in the path of a flying magical snow cone. It's a natural phenomenon and it's really bad.
Mom, what's natural phenomenon? She says, "Oh, just don't worry about these strangers. Come on, children. Let's
These strange people.
finish our chores for the day.
Get as far away from these people as possible.
Get back inside."
I mean, Left looks really out of place. Like,
Yeah, you guys all kind of do. None of you have cold weather clothing or anything. Everyone kind of looks the same in town. They're all bundled up,
yeah. I think Lep is the most revealed at the moment.
You guys do hear a cough from behind you, and you turn, and there's an older man standing there with sort of a closely cut gray beard and bald head, and he says, "What can I do for you today, travelers? Are you searching for something? I don't believe I know any of you."
We're looking for the mayor.
Duvessa is probably at the council hall. Maybe I could be of assistance to you. I'm the sheriff of Brinchander, Markham Gladwell. Gladwell? What was his name again?
Markham 10?
Southwell. Markham Southwell.
Yes, if you could escort us there, that'd be very much appreciated.
He looks a little irritated, but he says, "Oh, okay, follow me this way." And he leads you through the town. He says,
Mercy's not there.
interesting attire for Icewind Dale. You must be Southerners.
Yeah.
No, some of us are.
What brings you to our fine city of Brinchander?
We came to investigate the presence of undead in Icewind Dale.
There have been trappers and hunters that have shambled into town, reporting some strange sightings out in the tundras. It would be me that would handle most of that business. If we don't have to bother the speaker, perhaps I can just assist you with your inquiries.
Oh, that's
would be
very
better.
kind of you.
I
would
do
be.
need to see the speaker.
Very well. You guys continue walking, and he says, anyways, even some of the nomadic reghead tribes have wandered closer to the Ten Towns as of late. So there must be something out there to push them so far inland. And he stops in front of a tall, like, long, not tall, but long, sort of two-story building. And he says, well, here is the council halls. You'll likely find Miss Shane inside.
Hawthorne nods at him and says thank you as he turns to the council hall and enters.
Before he goes, Jin will say, do you have a moment at a later time? We would be grateful for a map of the area and would like to prod your sort of expertise on the dangers. As as you might surmise, we're not from here.
Yes, you can find me at the East Gate before you leave town.
Much thanks.
Before Lep heads inside, he'll look to the sheriff and say, "This place looks really cold. Do you want some hot tea?" As he holds out a steaming cup of hot tea.
He says, I suppose I couldn't turn down something that would warm my belly.
Well, I hope you enjoy it.
The tea. That Jin just shuts up.
Is there anything
Meanwhile,
magical in here?
No,
Okay.
he's just being nice.
Yeah, he takes a sip and is, it's quite good. And he waves and clomps back through the snow in the other direction, back towards the East Gate. You guys enter the council hall, and the first room is a large open area. There's like a long table just inside, and a giant fireplace that's got a big fire blazing in it. There's a woman in like a thick wool dress with a kind of a big white wolf cape over her shoulders, kind of pinned with this little silver shield sigil that has like two antlers on either side of like a grain of wheat. And she looks pretty young, maybe like in her mid-20s. She's speaking to two older women when you guys enter, and they sort of finish up their conversation. The younger woman pats one of the older women on the back, and she turns to you all and says, well, welcome to Bryn Shander, newcomers. I'm Duvessa Shane. How can I be of assistance to you?
We came here to investigate the presence of undead.
Ah. Were you sent by anyone in particular?
We're on here on our own business.
We have been receiving reports of some strange activities out in the deep tundras. It was reported that a large wandering group of entities, I suppose, was making its way towards the Ten Towns, but then they suddenly turned and started marching their way deeper into the ice, out along the edge of the glaciers, to the far east of the Ten Towns. But that's about all I can say, really. not too many people spend too much time out in the deep tundras alone. But a few woodsmen and a couple of members of one of the nomadic tribes that live in the tundras have reported these sightings.
I see. And, I guess Jen already talked about getting a map of the area, so we can do that later, but, yeah, he'll look to Jen and say it definitely seems like the undead have some form of a controller.
Yeah, that certainly sounds like direction.
She says, I can provide you with a map of Icewind Dale if you like.
That would be most appreciated. Thank you.
She turns and she goes to one wall, and you can see there's like almost like cubbies, and you can see like different supplies in some of them, and there's one of the cubbies that has like various rolled up long parchments, and she pulls out a tube, and she brings it over to the table and pulls the cork off and brings out a parchment, and she sort of unfolds the map of Icewind Dale on the long table in the center of the room. She says, let me see. The hunter said that they spotted a group of these creatures. Traveling towards the Ten Towns, just northeast. Come on. Oh, I see. Just northeast of Kelvin's Cairn here.
Traveling towards the 10 towns, so they'd be moving southwest.
They were. Oh, there we go. What a mess. The hunter said they were moving towards the 10 towns, yes. There was quite a large group of them. At first he thought they were one of the nomadic tribes that lives out in the tundras, but as he got a closer look, there seemed to be something off about them, the way they moved. And then he said, and like a flock of birds, all at once, they turned and started going in the other direction. One of the chief of one of the 4 Reged tribes visited Brinshander perhaps a week ago, and said that they had a skirmish with some of these creatures, and it killed a fair number. They killed a fair number of them. Well, a fair number of the tribe was killed, and so he came here to Brinshander to warn me of the trouble.
I don't suppose that person's still here.
She points and says, he says they were traveling just here, and points to this part of the map. He says after they fled, the creatures they encountered turned east and headed towards the Reged Glaciers. But not after chasing them across the tundra for some time.
Did the hunter that provided you with this information do you know this person?
He is a trapper. He doesn't live in. He doesn't live here in Bryn Shander, but I do believe he has a cabin out past Tarmaline in the Lonely Wood.
Does this hunter have a name? Besides Billy Bob?
Yes, Callan, I believe it is.
Alan. Alan the Hunter. Alan the Hunter. I suppose he wouldn't be in Bryn Shander at this moment, would he?
If he was, it is likely that you would find him at the North Look. Tavern near the north gate of town.
That is a lead we will follow up on. Having first-hand accounts is always a good thing.
The main thing that was congruent between the two stories of these men that brought me these reports were that whatever these things were moved at great speed and fought. Moved at great speed, and at least the leader of the tribe said that they fought with a relentlessness that was perhaps could be described as inhuman.
Another question: has Bryn Shander seen any unusual dragon activity lately? More frequent sightings, rumors of dragon attacks, that sort of thing.
As a matter of fact, 2 nights ago, the screeching of dragon could be heard passing over Bryn Shander in the night.
Great. Wonderful.
Yep. Kind of figured that was going to happen.
She says, there is a dragon that is spotted from time to time that lives in the mountains of the spine, but it almost never comes this close to town. We are a humble people and try to make sure that we don't keep anything a dragon would be interested in acquiring for themselves.
That is a wise policy when one lives as close to Cloth and what was the other one?
Arvitrus.
Arvitrus as one such as you does. That is wisdom.
We have an alliance with the Goliaths that live in the spine of the world, and we provide them with any needs they may have from time to time, and they do their best to make sure that the dragon is fed. They sacrifice beasts that they hunt in the wilds to her.
Thank you very much for this information. I have no doubts that will be invaluable to dealing with Icewind Dale's undead problem.
The 10 towns, Bryn Shander and myself would be indebted to you were it to be that there is some dark looming threat wandering the tundras. Even though I hold stewardship over perhaps not a great number of souls, I still care for all my people that live within these walls, and I would not like to see any harm befall them unnecessarily.
Of course.
We have it tough enough on this side of the mountains as it is.
Anyone else have any questions for the mayor?
Do you want some tea? It's hot.
It would be the hospitable thing to do to not decline your offers. Of course, I will have some tea.
Nothing magical about it.
Is that
Pretty.
peppermint?
Yeah, it's a new recipe I made.
Quite refreshing. Better than anything I can get around here, that's for sure.
Or looks to the rest of the party and says, "Would you all excuse me and the mayor? I need to speak to her privately."
Why?
I'm sure it's...
Yeah.
I would advise against any one of us separating.
Okay, more for-
reasons that you are aware.
You say that, and yet you are missing a party member.
Yeah, what are you doing, Mercy?
Oh, right.
Well,
You
she snuck off and vanished, as per my skill.
It turns out that Thigo was following you the whole time.
Sure. Well, she'd like to do a couple things, actually. So,
Okay. Yeah, what's up?
First, she wants to use an ability to check for the undead. Every time I've used this so far, you have massively hurt me, but we'll try again.
I've massively hurt you?
Like hundreds or thousands of undead suddenly assaulting us.
Right, because the first time you used it was when we were in fucking Evernight.
Yeah.
And then you were in then you were in the Mournlands. I mean, it's and everything is dead there in both of those places. 10 miles. Let's see. You do not detect any undead. Oh yeah, that's probably a better. You do not detect any undead.
Okay, then lacking that, can she just kind of wander around and listen for rumors of anyone acting strange or other strange travelers? You know, if the guards are acting weird, anything like that?
Yeah, make an insight check.
Okay, not bad.
Let's see here. I think I do have a... As far as you can tell, when you're sort of quietly wandering through town, nobody seems to be behaving strangely. You you kind of hover around one of the gates of the town, and you hear a pair of guards having a conversation, and essentially they heard that over in East Haven, a fisherman was attacked by a group of gnolls while they were out fishing on Lake Denishir, and killed the fisherman, and they stole her pole and hook, and the hunters from East Haven tracked the gnolls to an icy rift, but were too scared to go any farther.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, she'll just kind of continue wandering around, seeing if she notices anything until the party returns.
Do you guys leave Mavathor with the speaker?
Yeah.
No,
Um,
I don't understand why you're trying to have some private conversation with someone that we've just met, unless you'd be trying to hide something from us. And I don't know why you would try to do that, since we're a team and we're supposed to be working together.
Or you can trust that maybe this is something that's just his business. It's none of our business.
I kind of doubt that.
I have not much tied into your business, Mavathor. If you judge the risk of infiltration greater or less than the worth of what you are trying to accomplish here, then I will wait outside.
Yeah, we don't have to go far left. Just let him have room.
But I will just mention this once. Cass has not demonstrated the ability to impersonate multiple people at the same time. So by separating, you are providing an opportunity for something like that to happen, however small.
Yes, but he hasn't displayed the ability to use clerical abilities. So when we return, I'll do something that only a cleric could do.
Mercy, you pass by a group of like 3 dwarves all bundled up in winter clothing, and you hear one of them telling a story, and he goes, "So I just had pulled my sled into Goodmead, and
Oh no.
I was dropping up my load of lumber, and then this 9 fucking tall foot giant ran straight into the town and drove a giant spear through the speaker's belly. Skewered him all the way through in one blow. Then he smashed into the meadery, grabbed 2 big pots of honey, and just ran straight back out into the forest."
Can I insight just to see how full of shit he is?
Yeah, sure. One of the other dwarves says, "Oh, they smashed the meadery. 10 towns might go dry." Maybe the giant was
3/4.
7 feet tall.
3/4 of a septic tank. This one.
Okay, so giants in the area. Good to know.
You hear?
Hey, I'll take that. At least my time won't be a complete bust.
You hear one of the other dwarves go, "Oh, that's nothing. I heard they caught an evil wizard who killed some adventurers in East Haven. The town militia plans to burn the wizard at the stake."
Well, that is interesting.
One of the other dwarves says, well, I suppose that's not too bad. Got to get sacrifices for the Frost Maiden from somewhere, you know." And they all kind of nod their heads.
Okay.
Mavathor, you do the others leave you, or is you guys still working that out?
Lilith will literally drag Lep out of the room.
Lep will not let Lilith do that. He is gonna stay in that room with Mavathor.
Lilith has +4 strength.
And Lep can fly and teleport. You can try all you want.
As I recall, Navathor still has his Canoloth and Michaeloth with him, so...
Are they invisible?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't know how long that would last in Bryn Shander here.
Yeah, but he'll tell them to hang with the group, so the Canoloth's dimensional lock keeps Lep out of teleporting.
Oh, Lep. Okay, Lep is gonna try to stay. I mean,
he has a strength of 3 currently because he used Wish.
That is very true.
Oh, I was not told that. Okay.
And I think any spell you cast right now is bad for you too.
Yeah, you take a D10 of necrotic per level.
No, he made the percentile roll to avoid the drawback.
That's for never being able to cast Wish again, not avoiding negative consequences.
Yeah, I did not know this. Okay, I did not know it was strength of 3. Well, that's cool. Then he'll be dragged out.
Yeah, Lilith will drag him out.
Yeah, very upset.
Somewhere Mercy senses her party acting like children.
Yeah.
The mom senses go off.
Now that prays out the picture, he clears his throat and says, "I've been brought to you to deliver a message from an individual who claims to be a benefactor to you," as he reaches into his bag and pulls out the ice cube and puts it on the table.
The person that Levistus had asked you to deliver this to was the Gladwell guy.
Sure.
The sheriff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said the mayor, if I remember correctly.
No, it was the
sheriff. The sheriff.
Oh, okay, never mind. All right, then nix that whole thing.
That's why I was kept getting him to try to stop you guys. Yeah. But hey, I just let it go. I thought you were gonna tell on the mayor to her or something.
No.
Or tell on the sheriff to the mayor.
I thought it was the mayor too for some reason.
Yes.
Must be tripping.
It's possible that I might have said mayor instead of sheriff, but I also did say that it was the Markham guy. I know I said his name
I
specifically.
do,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
do
you did.
remember
Yeah.
saying
You
his
did.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just been
50-50. Yeah,
so.
no, for sure. Yeah, I've like blocked out the whole last week and a half from my mind, basically.
Fuck.
Oh no.
Your strength
Oh,
is 3 for
no.
8 days.
Well
That's
then.
bad luck. Finally coming in.
There's the consequence.
So we can kind of skip that or whatever.
So what are we doing now, guys? Now that we're done talking to the mayor, are we gonna go see that ranger? Are we gonna go and talk to other people? Are we gonna try and find wherever the hell Mercy went?
Well, probably
I know exactly where Mercy is.
if you just want to like try and find the undead on your own, using the information you had, your best bet's probably just getting back in the ship and kind of flying out past these two spots, and Mercy using her 10-mile detection radius thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna go.
You'll get most of the same information if you go talk to the hunter or try and find the tribe.
Yeah.
Doesn't Mavathor need to find the sheriff before we leave town?
Yeah, he said he'd be on the at the east gate.
He would meet up with us, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find him at the east gate before you leave if you'd like. You guys get back together and you got to head out the east gate to go back to the ship anyways, and you see Markham there. He says, well, how'd your conversation with the mayor go?
Sorry, can I do something real quick?
Sure.
Can I try and sneak up on one of them and spook them?
Yeah. Make
Don't do it. Please don't do that.
Make a stealth check. Probably with advantage, right? Doesn't your vanish ability give you advantage or something? You can't be tracked by mundane means. Okay, yeah. Well, you can sneak up on anyone with a passive perception less than 18.
Yeah, that's Lep.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly Lep.
Yeah.
Everyone else's is higher.
But yeah, you're kind of hanging around that part of town, Mercy. You see your companions pass by as you're kind of tucked away between two of the houses, and Lep's dragging a little behind.
If she can get away with it, she'd probably try to do it to Lilith.
Yeah, Lilith's got a 16 for passive.
Okay, yeah,
perception.
you could go for Lilith too.
Yeah, she's just going to
Well, that's just 50.
grab some snow to make her hand really, really cold, and then just run it down Lilith's spine since she's in that little shift.
My wife hates
Oh God!
My wife hates it when I do that to her.
It's your AC, Mercy.
What's that?
It's your AC.
My AC. If you're gonna hit me, can I at least do this to make Lilith scream?
Door?
And my AC is currently 18.
A snowball drops in front of you from the sky.
Okay. Well, I am still snowball-less, and I scared Lilith, so she can react as she wants.
A frigid hand, Lilith, creeps down your spine.
Yeah, she kind of just like does one of these, So I knocked down my light.
So did you all have fun?
Yeah. I'm tired.
I
Can we
mean,
get back to the ship?
as fun as one has in meetings.
Well, I got some fun information for us, but it seems like you guys are on a mission for something, so maybe later.
We picked up a map of the area and have a general idea of where our next area of operation should be. With your ability to find undead in the ship, we'll have a heading.
Yeah, I checked and there's nothing within 10 miles of here currently, but I'll definitely keep it up on the ship.
There wouldn't be. Our information puts the closest undead sighting at about 20 clicks northeast. Moving further northeast beyond that.
Fair enough. Then, shall we finish here and get moving?
Agreed. We should pick up some supplies, food, and water.
Yeah.
That brings up a good question, Ryan.
Yeah.
How much stuff would be on the ship as far as like supplies and rations?
I mean, however you keep it stocked is up to you.
She tries to restock it whenever they have a chance, because I mean, she's used to keeping it stocked for 12 people. 5 is probably not that difficult.
Yeah, then
we were just in Waterdeep. I can't imagine you didn't stock up your ship.
Probably in Baldur's Gate after you brought it back from Neverwinter. So you probably have enough supplies to sustain 12 people on the ship for 30 days.
Oh, so that should be plenty for 5.
Yeah.
We can just take some of that, but I did message you earlier in the week about if I could get some blood for our vampiric companions.
Yeah, that's something you could have done at any point as well between then and now. You know, you could have just gone hunting outside of Baldur's Gate or something, or any woods you passed over in your ship.
Yeah, she would have got some blood for Lilith and Lepus in case they needed it, just to have on hand.
Yeah. You know, you've got like a Franzia box of blood on the ship somewhere that they can just spout from or whatever, you know, into a wine glass.
Just a
they can put it in a coffee mug and heat it up.
Yeah. As you guys are making your way back past the East Gate, Sheriff Southwell is there, and he says, "Oh, I see you got a map from Duvessa. That's good. Did you get all the information you needed from her?"
I believe so, yes.
He kind of looks up at the sky and he says, "It's where are you all headed next? It's going to be dark soon. There's barely more than 6 hours of daylight."
We have we're not terribly worried about that.
Mercy's just going to look at him, and the light's going to glint off her silver eyes. The dark isn't really a concern for us.
Well, I suppose it's none of my business anyways, now that you're leaving town.
Mavthor will look to the rest of the party and say, "May I just have a word with the sheriff?"
Yeah, of course. Lilith is pulling Lep by his ear.
Ow, 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 don't do that. That hurts. Just do it on the scruff of my collar. Don't do it on my ear.
I mean, he
We'll be out of earshot, but not out of line of
line of
sight.
sight, you know.
Yeah.
Same.
So Mavthor looks to the sheriff and says, "I've been told to pass a message to you from benefactors." He pulls out the ice cube.
Yeah, you see the flush in his cheeks instantly wash out of his face, and he goes kind of pale, and his eyes go wide, and he says, "Who gave you this?"
I don't know what you're asking me for. Clearly, you know who.
He kind of tries to like regain his composure a little bit. He says, I don't know what you're talking about." But then he grabs the ice cube and like stuffs it in his pocket real quickly. Safe travels.
Just kind of nods and says, "That's certainly your prerogative," as turns and rejoins the party.
Yeah, he just stares at your back with a glare as you trudge out back into the snowbanks, and you guys head back to the little wooded area 3 miles outside of Bryn Shander and board Mercy's vessel. You guys take off towards the open tundras, steering away from the rest of the 10 towns, and head in the direction of the first marking on your map.
I'm going to keep us cloaked as we travel.
Mercy's probably going to leave the piloting to Piddlewick and with Jin's assistance so that she can concentrate on her tracking skill.
Okay.
Sego.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Sego will handle the co-piloting and general beyond cloaking duty.
You guys head towards the first marking that Duvessa put on your map, and Mercy, you're concentrating on detecting any undead, and you pass over the first marking roughly, and you don't detect any. And so you continue heading out deeper into the tundras. Out of it, in any of the windows of the ship, you can see these open, vast, snowy plains. You can see like drafts of wind just kicking up little, just blowing big waves of snow over the rolling hills of the tundra as you fly deeper and deeper out towards the glaciers. And as you guys pass over the second marking on your map, you can see like the little frozen spindles of the rivers, these little thin winding sheets of ice as snow blows over them. And at the far end of your detection radius, over where the arrow is, you do pick up the faint signature of a couple of undead creatures, Mercy.
I've got a hit.
Kind of right where the end of my arrow tip is, at the edge of the glacier here.
Over there, I'm sensing some undead. She'll kind of guide them over to the rough area.
Type of blurry presence. How many if they're in a group? And their general direction and distance from you in miles.
Yeah, how many do I sense as we get closer?
If you detect multiple types of group, you receive separate information for each group. That is a incredible ability.
Uh,
Of any level.
Yep. Two undead. Sort of stationary. The closer and closer you get to the glacier, they don't seem to move. One group of two undead.
Is it possible to try and get a visual on them?
Yeah. You guys continue in that direction. Your information never changes as you slide closer to the ridges of the massive glaciers that line the east side of Icewind Dale. And from the ship, you can eventually spot maybe a half a dozen canvas tents that are flapping in the wind. And on the east side of the camp, you can see that this must have been some sort of camp setup. And you can see it must have been some sort of excavation site or something. You can see like shovels and pickaxes strewn about, as well as about a dozen bodies that are roughly dwarven in size that are strewn about the camp. In the wall of the glacier, there is a fissure that is opened, or been opened, likely by the people that were here camped out at the edge of the world. And there are two humanoid-sized undead gnawing at the bodies.
An excavation site with undead. I think that's worth investigating.
Are you?
As the ship gets close enough to get like a visual on the scene. Oh, you're kind of cloaked, huh? Invisible?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Then, yeah, the two undead figures are just like gnawing at these dead dwarven bodies strewn about the tent site.
What are everyone's thoughts? I think it's worth checking out.
Yeah, I think
Especially if
I'd like
there's
to
a
open the hatch
fixture
and
over there.
pop the two undead with final journey from 600 feet first.
Yeah. The Piddlewick opens the hangar for you as you are standing back in the cargo area. The back bay door lowers in from behind Mercy's ship as a cold wind blows in over you. You look down the barrel of Final Journey and get one of the two undeads haunched over. You can see that they're like these tall, thin, emaciated-looking creatures. They have gray leather skin that is just pulled tightly over mostly what is probably just bone left. And they have like two little tiny openings for nostrils, but big, overly wide mouths, and they don't seem to have any eyes.
super advantage. Elven accuracy. This is at +1. 18 to hit.
Yeah, the first one.
Sorry, 19.
Roll the damage.
It's 3d12 plus 6. No, 3d12 plus 7. So 23 first.
And then a disintegrate spell, right?
Yep, and then a DC 15 dexterity saving throw to avoid
what is it? 70 damage? 70 necrotic damage?
That's a great question. Hang
It's
on.
40 plus a certain amount.
It's that much.
Oh, 10d6.
Actually, I think
10d6 plus
better.
40. Yeah, roll the 10d6.
Yeah.
It's 78 points of force.
78 plus
Ooh.
16.
Plus 23.
You
So 78 plus 23.
you blow the creature's kind of hunched down, and you blow a big chunk of its shoulder off, and the two creatures' heads like snap and start to like look around, and then they turn towards the big fissure in the side of the glacier and run into the dark cavern beside them, beside the camp.
Can I take? If they go take one or two more shots before they.
You could probably get another
away.
shot. You could probably get another shot off, and Thago could probably get a.
I can't shoot because we're at 600 feet. But Sago can because he's got the sniper rifle.
Well, it's gonna take them like another round to actually get into the fissure, so you'd have another shot. Yeah.
23 or 24.
Yep, that's good.
27.
27 more damage. Okay, and Thago can take 2 rounds of shots.
But that was Thago shooting.
Oh, that was Thago shooting. Okay, I gotcha. 27. Okay, yeah, another bullet blows a hole in their withered flesh as they run towards the opening.
Would it be possible to use the ship's guns, or would that make too much of a racket?
You could fire the shard cannon at them if you want to.
Doing that will break the cloak, which is what I was trying to avoid.
Yeah.
I figured Piddlewick could use the regular guns. Give him a shot to be his wonderful chaos.
Oh no.
It's your ship, your rule.
Let him do it. There's no innocence around, so.
I mean, you got a point.
Yeah.
You want me to roll for that, or
you can roll for it. Just make an attack roll. Make 2 attack rolls with your attack rolls.
no
Mercy.
mercy, right?
Yeah. You command Piddlewick to fire, and before the full single syllable leave your lips, Piddlewick's already pressing the buttons to fire the guns of the ship. There's a flurry of...
He's been a good little construct. He gets to have some fun.
There's 2 blasts out of the guns at the front of the ship that fire out. Roll 48 twice. All right.
If those don't kill them, I get extra damage against favored enemies too.
Roll a d2 for me to see which one they hit. The one that Thago and Jin had been firing at, Piddlewick fires, and both of the shots strike that one. And just before the opening of the fissure in the glacier wall, that one sprawls out in a little snowdrift, and the other one makes its way into the darkness of the crevice.
Okay. I'm not sure we want to land here just yet, so do maybe two of us want to fly down and investigate this area?
I'll go down with whoever wants to go with.
I mean, Lep wouldn't mind going down.
Sure, you're not looking so good, my guy.
I have 3 strength. It's fine. It's not like we're gonna meet any shadows.
Well, you just had to jinx it, didn't you?
I don't know what that word means, so
Lepus,
Fair.
dear, stay here.
and what? Let you have all the fun now. And also,
If something shows up, you can channel your magic through the ship's weapon system. I can't.
but that's no fun, and we're gonna have to land the ship anyway. We'll need to go inside that fissure and try and figure out what's in there. Wouldn't it make more sense for all of us to go and be as a team?
Wouldn't it make more sense to have our possible escape route open and clear in case of ambush?
It would be a better ambush if we were all there. We could defend ourselves.
Lepus, I'm not arguing this. Stay here or I will tie you to the chair.
Lilith pulls out rope.
Yeah, he gets tied to a chair.
Okay, once he's secured, Mercy will shift to get her wings and fly down with Jen.
All right. You guys disembark the vessel and fly down to the campsite, getting a closer look at whatever carnage happened here. The dozen dwarves are all kind of sprawled out around the campsite in the snow, and when you get a closer look, you can see that, they've all been gnawed on a little bit here and there, but what stands out more to you is all of their bodies are peppered with crossbow bolts. The flesh of the dwarves that is exposed is like a purple color, and their veins are bulging and protruding kind of out of their skin. The dwarves have all have kind of like a greenish sort of mucus that's bubbling out of their nose and the sides of corners of their mouth.
Poison. That can affect a dwarf. It would be pretty strong. I'll try a medicine check to figure that out. If that's okay.
Sure.
May I?
Yeah.
Medicine, not.
Can I help?
Sure.
Not Jin's area of expertise.
I mean, you certainly know that the dwarves of Faerun are kind of going over in your mind all the stuff you've learned about Faerun while you've been here, the only thing that you can think of that could affect a dwarf in this way is perhaps poison made by a common enemy of the subterranean mountain dwarves, a poison concocted by perhaps the drow.
Drow typically use a potion that induces, or a poison that induces sleep, though. I guess they would have lethal access to lethal toxins. All the same, something to watch for.
The something that stands out, you pull one of the crossbow bolts from one of the dwarves' body, and they're like these very sharp-tipped metal shafted bolts, and you can see at the base of the bolts, where in between the feathers, there are little engravings of little spiders.
Oh yeah.
At the at the base of the bolts.
Definitely drow.
Can Mercy go over to the undead we shot and investigate it?
You can, and you guys could both make survival investigation checks as well, I suppose. The winds are...
I get advantage for a favorite enemy.
Which is undead?
I have undead and changelings.
Undead and changelings. The winds are blowing over the tundra pretty aggressively. But even despite that, looking around, Jin, you notice some very strange looking markings in some of the harder packed areas of the campsite around here. Some kind of creature with more than 2 legs has been traipsing around this campsite.
How big?
Judging by the size of the tracks, and the way that they're sort of spaced apart, you think maybe quite large and somewhere between 6 and 8 legs. Or maybe 4 legs. Hold on, let me...
Is my tracking thing still up?
Yeah. You notice still inside of the caverns, would you track would your ability track undead that are dead, or undead that are quote unquote living?
Good question. If you want to continue with what Jin was saying, I'll check.
Corpses are... I don't know, actually. If a thing is dead, it is an object, not a creature, regardless of its creature type, if that makes sense.
Then you...
From a mechanical standpoint.
Then you detect one undead moving through the glacier at a pretty fast speed. They're probably at this point 600 or 800 feet away from you.
That's quick.
She's gonna reach up and tap the communication device. Mavathor, can you hear me?
Yes.
The dwarves were killed by poison. Jin thinks it's drow. I'm only detecting the one undead that was fleeing, but he is moving fast. He's already maybe 800 feet down.
Hmm.
Also, it appears there was some beast here as well. Multi-legged, 6 or 8.
Either 8 legs or 2 with 4 legs.
Okay, I'll pass that correction.
Yeah, he'll think for a moment and say, what are the drow doing here? Usually they only strike priority locations where they can enslave people. Dale isn't exactly the most populated area they could hit.
How likely would they be to ally themselves with Cass or Tiamat? We have to keep in mind that they are both frightening and persuasive.
Extremely unlikely. If they're Wolfsworn drow, they'd rather probably kill themselves than ally themselves with anyone other than Lilith.
Copy. We'll check the tents next. We go do just that. Whoops. We'll probably go check the tents.
Give me another investigation check.
Yeah, it's a 30.
You guys search among the tents, and you find like the personal effects of most of these dwarves tucked away in little wooden chests and near their cots and bunks, and you do find a journal under the bunks of one of the dwarves here, and most of it is coordinates that would align with different parts of the glacier, previous places that they've attempted excavations like this. And you find folded up in there a letter in the back of the journal, and it says something along the lines of Horgrin, you and your team have been relentless in your endeavors. I'm certain soon you'll find what we're looking for. I will meet you on the ice as soon as I return. But keep up the good work, and I promise I'll double your pay for the time it has taken you and your men to do this work for me. And it is signed by Tasha at the bottom.
Well, that's interesting. Any notes anywhere on what she was trying to get them to find?
Yeah, in every after every coordinate that the dwarf whose journal this is had marked, he just kind of writes some notes. Unable to break through the ice, glacier too thick, no sign of no sign of Netheril artifacts in the ice, and that's every location. in the one that you guys are currently at, which is the last mark of coordinate entry in the journal, it says, finally opened a fissure. There is something about these caves that is scaring some of the men. Probably shouldn't dig any farther. Wait for Tasha. Signs of lost Netheril, perhaps. Hard to tell.
Yeah, we should probably get the party down here. Land, hide the ship.
Yeah. Piddlewick land. We've got a lead.
Where do you want him to land? Do you want him to land like at the top of the glacier, or kind of out, down and off to the side somewhere, or
hide in a snowbank?
Yeah,
you could do that. Piddlewick lands the ship sort of a little north of the campsite in a big mound of snow, and you guys gather what you need and meet the others at the canvas tents. And before you, in the side of the glacier, is a fissure that's about 20. The crack is about 20 feet high. The glacier itself is over 100 feet tall and maybe 10 feet wide, and the crack in the glacier is maybe 10 feet wide. And it is just pitch dark in there.
She's going to show off the letter to the others.
We make sure to untie Lep and bring him with us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lilith's gonna turn the light on her glaive.
Do I have Bloodhound on this character? No, I don't have deep magic on this character.
I still have the sun sword too, so we have a secondary light source.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's my glaive that sheds light for 40 feet.
Yeah, but Mercy's gonna show the letter to the rest of them. It seems Tasha had them scouring this area for Netheril.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, she was just trying to help us, so trying to find the obelisk or Netherese artifacts is a good thing.
Assuming it was actually her.
So, Cass could have been portraying himself as Tasha?
No way to know. But it's not an unreasonable assumption.
It does appear they found something nearby, so that's probably our best bet at this point.
Oh, big map. Oh, huge map.
Huge map.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
All right.
I can already tell.
Ooh, shit. Okay. You guys.
Oh, I know. My Nicholas or Caneloth.
Oh, I can.
I don't have no idea.
Yeah, we're not gonna have all our tools, but I can get you those. I can get you those demons. But you guys head down in through the crevice As you pass down through the crack, you come into this first little area. A path has been kind of cut, and you guys come down into a 30-foot wide, 20-foot deep sort of tunnel. You meet these naturally formed steps that descend. When you guys make your way through that first little winding cave there, you come to a 30-foot high cavern, and in the center of that room there, you see the remains of a wooden ship hull on the floor.
Quick, Lilith's gonna turn on Divine Sense.
Oh, I forgot to give you guys something, actually, when you were visiting Laeril. Which is kind of a big... I can't believe it just totally slipped my mind. Laeril, when you guys were visiting Laeril, she said that if you guys were going to be heading to Icewind Dale and possibly seeking out Thrin, she had something that might have helped you, and she gave you a something called a Professor's Orb, and she said
that's cool.
she said now I almost she says it's up to you whether you want to use him or not, but this is Professor Scant, and he possesses some knowledge of Netherese history. Although I don't know if you're going to like... you might grow wary in his company for too long. And but the orb sort of remained like dull and quiet. Who has the orb?
That would be me.
So as you guys come into this area, you hear like a muffled voice wherever you have the orb tucked away.
Jin will pull out the orb and do the genie rub.
The orbs, when you pull it out, is like illuminated, and it kind of looks like an opal, a big, perfectly round, smooth opal that's like giving off now this smattering of light around the small cavern here, and little colorful lights kind of glittered across the wreckage, and the orb says, a Netherese sky coach. I've always wanted to ride on one of those. Pity it's no longer in one piece.
Huh.
Well, it's good to know that we are in the right place.
The bits of this...
Can I search it to see if there's any writing or journals or anything?
Yeah, sure. This bit of this hole is, Professor Scant says, it's the remains of an Netherese sky coach, an airship that was used to ferry people to and from the floating city of Thrin. You begin to search the wreckage, and you do find 4 headless skeletons among the wreckage of this hole here in the in sort of tattered robes to time. But underneath, like a big piece of wood, you also find a large 200-pound iron safe with a combination lock that has a dial and numbers from 0 to 50 written in Draconic script.
Can anyone read Draconic?
I can.
Nope.
You want to help me
As a
crack
matter
a
of
safe?
fact,
Yes. I need to do something fun.
would you like me to open this safe?
What's that?
I said, would you like me to open this safe?
Ooh, do you have knock?
If whoever has the better check for it.
I have thieves' tools and proficiency in them.
Oh, I was just gonna try some plain old luck, but yeah, sure.
Go for it.
Sure that's open.
You click through the numbers.
Jin looks at
Jin, yeah, and
it opens.
it doesn't take you long before you find the combination, and the safe pops open, and inside you see a satchel. You would recognize it probably as a bag of holding. And there is a ring made of this strange gray crystal. That is...
That puts us to 3 bags of holding, right?
Yep.
Never have too many.
And that is probably where we'll end the session this week, because this is a whole endeavor.
This ring?
Why?
Yeah.
Can I identify the ring before we go?
Yes. It is a ring of the ram made of Chardolin.
Ring of the ram made of Chardolin. What does that do?
Give you strength?
That is not an
Ring
item.
produces a spectral ram's head and makes its attack roll with +7 on hit for each charge you spend. Target takes 2d10 force and is pushed 5 feet away.
Cool.
Does it require attunement?
I don't...
Yeah.
It does.
Oh, it does.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everything's attunement.
Yeah, at this
Yeah.
level, everything's attunement.
And it is getting kind of late. It's probably the best place to end this week. We're starting to average a little
Give your
close.
cat love for me, please.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I know,
I've been
she's
admiring her this whole time.
She's like,
Oh my
Yeah.
god, me too.
feed me. I totally slipped. Oh yeah, we're starting to average closer to 4-hour sessions than 3-hour sessions, which I don't necessarily mind. I don't even notice after a while. It's like I look down and it's like, holy shit, 4 hours went by.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need sleep. I'm sustained on this.